So, a lot of us have grown up with the image of Mary Magdalene as a prostitute and Jesus as a celibate man. And both of these images can be seen as distortions we've been handed around sexuality. So, what is healing all about in the realm of relationships and sex? Why is this so important and how do we get it? How does embracing the new understanding of Magdalene and Jesus as love partners and sexual beings help us with this? Greetings, I'm Marguerite Rigoglioso of Seven Sisters Mystery School, and in this masterclass, I'd like to share with you some perspectives, some healing, and some helpful information to allow us to consider Jesus and Magdalene as sacred sexual relationship guides, and to take the first steps toward engaging that kind of evolutionary relationship with them as our allies. We all know that the arena of sexuality and partnership can be both heavenly and hellish. As we move into deeper dimensions of consciousness and awaken to who we truly are as angelic humans, we want more of the full-bodied experience. We remember back to times of harmonious relating somewhere in human history, but we see the broken vessels of relationships all around us, relationships that are failing, unfulfilling, and we have distorted sexual energies run amok. So the good news is that as we rise in our vibration, sex and loving partnerships are rising up as well. And as we open to what's been affecting the human family regarding sexuality and love, we can more clearly see what we need to do to shift so that we may be empowered in this arena. Just as the sacred Christos Sophia family is here for our emotional healing, so they are here for our healing in the area of love relationships and sexuality. And this is encoded in the story of Magdalene and Jesus. In my work with these two great healers, which has included both research over the years and connection with and about them on the inner planes through meditation and oracle states, as well as sacred medicine journeys, I've received a whole new layer of their story, who they were, who they are, and what their healing mission still is for humanity. And what's becoming clear to me is that the understanding that Magdalene and Jesus were likely not only lovers, but also sacred marriage partners is not just an interesting rebel historical fact, but it's a medicine for those of us who are seeking fulfillment in relationships and sexual healing. I have realized nothing less than that Magdalene and Jesus are actually role models for sacred love and sex. This can be discerned in the ancient gospels found in Nag Hammadi, Egypt, and beyond. When we penetrate these writings, sometimes known as the Gnostic Gospels, we come to understand that these two masters were each what was called a koinonos to one another, meaning a sacred companion. And when we read that Jesus kissed Magdalene frequently, we understand that this was a love relationship. And there are all sorts of hints, particularly in the Gospel of Philip, that they were married. Now, this many of us know. Maybe you are one of the people who's followed the threads of authors and filmmakers, really now going back 40 plus years, revealing this information. But what's not been fully brought to light is the fact that there was a sacrament that Jesus spoke about called the bridal chamber. And we learned that this is a sacred ritual place or method whereby a married couple can come together in what was called sexual purity, okay, in purity. One thing that's pretty much ignored in the scholarly material is that what we come to find out in this ancient text is that purity means without negative spirits getting involved and exerting their influence in the sexual activity. Yes. This bridal chamber seems to be a ritual of joining together sexually through rites of high-level sex magic in which the space needs to be cleared of the business as usual negative energies that tend to congregate around sexual energy. So all this is telling us that Jesus and Magdalene and the entire Christos Sophia family and their retinue understood that sexuality was an attractor not only for all the wonderful bliss states and bliss allies and energies, but also it was an attractor for negative energies. Well, there couldn't be anything more contemporary or now than this understanding, because so many of us now are coming to realize that our wombs, our phalluses, our sexual activity and energy have been siphoned off, used, misdirected, abused, and so forth. And many of us are coming to understand, as Jesus and Magdalene expressed it, that this interference is truly beyond human. Now, whether that fits into your belief system or not, what we can all agree upon is that even those among us who look perfectly fine, even the most seemingly happy or conscious and sexually liberated among us, still have so much sexual healing to do. And this I encounter in my life all the time, and particularly with clients I serve, in workshops I've offered, in friendships and so forth. I'm not going to go into the list here of physical and emotional ailments that many of us carry related to our sexuality that are long-standing and pervasive and seemingly very difficult to eradicate. But the fact is that many of us carry niggling secrets, woundings, and dis-ease in this area. Really, despite all of the sexual freedom, the liberation, this sexual shame, this sexual confusion, this lack of ease many of us still deal with has just burrowed further underground, all while silently running our lives. Now, again, I think we all have a memory when love relationships and sexuality were truly joyful, eras in human existence when this was the case, call it Lemuria or what have you. We have a memory of a better time, and the divine parts of ourselves know that happy sexuality and love are ultimately our human birthright. And what we're coming to realize is that Magdalene and Jesus are here as healers of all this. They have the power of dispelling negativity, and they are still active with this on the inner planes for anyone who wishes to work with them. Not only that, but on the uplifted side, their presence as successful love partners is a model for us. And they have guidance and information for all of us as to how we may have better lives. And this includes better love lives. And when we begin a mentoring relationship with them on this level, as with all of their work, it's tailor-made and unique for each of us according to our needs. So how do we begin to invite Magdalene and Jesus in as our relationship and, even more pointedly, our sexual mentors? I want to give you some details on this and an experience of this here. First, as with everything with them, you simply want to open to the possibility that they can be your sexual mentors. For a lot of us, this is already a bit of a step, isn't it? Because part of the abuse we've experienced, as I alluded to at the beginning, is the religious programming that holy people are not sexual, okay? Or in the case of Magdalene, that, they are prostitutes. So it's been decades for us to be able to understand Jesus and Mary as sexual beings. And now we are taking the next step into considering them as sacred relationship guides. But working with Magdalene and Jesus as your sexual mentors basically begins with sitting down and having tea with them. This may be on your meditation cushion. This may be sitting or walking out in nature. This may be on your couch, wherever. And by tea, I'm not excluding mind-expanding teas or sacred medicines like cacao, which is particularly wonderful for opening your heart and also stimulating your sensual energy. So when you're doing this, do consider having a little expanded state ceremony with these two great masters and see what comes up for you. And if you don't want that level of intensity, just simply breathing and going into a meditation with them is all that's needed to start. You want to set up a place to interdialogue with them regularly. You can keep this simple and just close your eyes and breathe, or you can light a candle. You can go more elaborate. You can create a small altar for this purpose, even have images of them that you can look at set up there. Essentially, you want to just bring your heart, your pains, your longings, your shame, your transgressions even before them. And you can request healing and further information and guidance about your situation. You want to share with them your desires and dreams for a loving relationship and healthy sexuality. Request that next steps be made obvious to you. And this is important. Know that they are unconditional in their regard for you. No secret or shame is beyond their loving embrace. No transgression is beyond their loving embrace. So we're going to have an experience of this shortly. But first, I'd like to share another step that you can take for developing a healing relationship with Magdalene and Jesus around relationships and sexuality. And this is the major resource we have available for our global community. It's the Evolutionary course, Sacred Relationship and Sexual Healing with Magdalene and Jesus. So please permit me to take a couple of minutes to share this with you. I'm very, very excited about it because it really is a path-breaking course. I'm not aware of anyone else offering anything like this, and you are here precisely because you felt this vibration and sensed its possibilities for your life. You know, why should you be stewing away with silent or unresolved or hidden or buried pains and longings and desires regarding having a better relationship life, a better sexual life, when you could be calling on this amazing combination of divine assistance and practical steps that this course will be offering you? It's open to all people. And for those who are looking to go deeper in relationships, it's going to open the door for you to a whole new world of uniting sex and spirit in your life in ways that have practical results. And for those of you who are maybe in a different phase of life in which either sexuality is not as sharp a focus as it once was, or maybe you're not so much seeking a relationship, this course will allow you to heal what may still be there to resolve from your past, as well as going forward, how you can best work with erotic energy, which is really what? Just the basic creative energy of life. And that includes being sensual with yourself and also feeling you have vitality and a sense of true aliveness. So in this course, we're going to first take a journey through the hidden background of human sexuality, as it's very intriguingly laid out in these ancient gospels, so that we can learn more about who we truly are and what happened to us long ago to set up the war of the sexes, as well as why and how humans have been the focus of this negative sexual attention. And the idea here is that we are unveiling what has happened to us so that we know what's possible and where we need to go. And we'll be working with Magdalene and Jesus all throughout this course, not only by consulting their ancient documents, but by engaging their very practices. I will be leading these experiences through channeled guidance that's grounded in good research, which is a hallmark of my classes, as many folks know. And we're then going to be looking more at Jesus and Magdalene's own relationship, the details that have been hidden from us, the mystery practices they engaged in, and we will be incorporating these into our own lives to raise our sexual vibration and to improve our ability to find, maintain, and cultivate good, healthy relationships. And this really expands even beyond romantic love relationships, but into relationships in all areas of our lives. We're also going to dive into the travesties of religious programming, porn, and even sexual abuse and interdimensional interference upon the human race, something Jesus spoke about quite significantly in the ancient documents. Yes. And that will include a special seminar that I will be co-teaching with the powerful Oracle Indigo Angel, who has a deeply penetrating sight into what has happened in our bodies and our energy fields, and how we can release once and for all what does not serve our sexual selves. So many of us are feeling hooked into negative sexual images through porn that many of us can't seem to be adequately sexually aroused without it, or we are feeling inhibited and limited and constricted in our sexual relating and functioning through the long arm of the church, which still seems to be in the crotches of so many of us. So we are going to be exploring and releasing these energies so that we may more joyfully and ecstatically experience our bodies in sensual and erotic ways, which really opens us up even beyond sexuality to creativity as a whole, and just this vital feeling, this feeling of verve about life. So this is for people who are, whether you're currently partnered or not, whether even you're seeking a partner or not. And we warmly welcome men to this course because we know that those interested in this are our sacred males, and we honor you and we thank you for putting your time and energy into this great work that is so often led by women. We absolutely need you and we can't do it alone. We're also going to be integrating some of the ancient mystical teachings from India on the power of the holy womb and the power of working with a soulmate, be it a lover or a deep soul friend in your spiritual work, because sometimes soulmates come in a variety of forms. And these teachings from India are those that we are told and shown that also Magdalene and Jesus knew about and engaged with. So it's coming right to us for our present day use. We are going to be working with tools in this regard, and also practical tools for stimulating the pleasure of the body, no matter what your age, as well as tools for how to work more harmoniously in romantic partnership, which again extends beyond just the love bubble, but into our other relationships. And, I want to address the fact that so many of us have thrown in the towel about whether a good relationship is even possible. And the fact of the matter is that even when we do meet that dream person, what comes up? All the issues. This is the legacy of the negativity that's upon us. And it is wound into us through intergenerational trauma. And this alone needs divine assistance. So, even if we don't have any thought about negative energies being involved in our lives or the world, the intricate level of this weave and net of trauma is something that we really need help detangling. And this is possible. We are on the threshold. This is a time when we are clearing up all of this miasma and misery so that we can come together in love again. And Magdalene and Jesus are our supreme allies in this. We're also going to explore in this class in a very safe way what it may mean to work with Magdalene and Jesus, not only as guides and healers, but also sexual consorts for ourselves. Yes, there is an entire tradition of spirit marriage that does have a sacred sexual component. And so there will be an introduction for anyone who feels that this would be useful in their lives. And this is not about getting out of the body or using a spiritual relationship or a spirit lover as an excuse for a human relationship because human ones are too scary and difficult. No, this is about you working with these great masters as healers and teachers on every level so that you may take your healed self into your relationship life. So there are going to be teachings, there are going to be ceremonial experiences and more. And the idea here is for you to walk away with a renewed and ongoing relationship with Magdalene and Jesus as your love and sexuality mentors, should you decide you want to continue. And you will be coming away experiencing greater sensual pleasure in your body, whether with yourself or with a partner. You're going to find yourself cleared of negative sexual programs and imagery and feel protected in your sexuality, in your ability to truly open up. If you are seeking a soulmate, you're going to be far more empowered to draw one to you, and you'll have that greater radiance for doing so. And again, whether this is a soulmate that is a lover or a soulmate that is a deep soul friend that helps you feel that sense of intimacy in life. You are essentially going to feel more inwardly whole as your best self. So we hope that you will take a look here at the link under the video. And if you haven't already, please join us for that course. All of the information is on that page. If you need more information, you can click further. And we do hope to see you. All right, so now let's have an experience with Jesus and Magdalene. We're going to go through this, and then you are certainly welcome to come back and listen at other times. Perhaps you literally will prepare some tea or some sacred medicine or some cacao for yourself so that you can go into this process even more deeply. But this is just going to give you a taste of how you can start working with these masters in a new way. So I invite you now to close your eyes and take some deep breaths. And as you're breathing, just feel yourself settling into your body, every place you're touching the earth, and connect in with your sacred womb or your sacred phallus. Send it some love and gratitude and golden light. And connect your attention with the center of Mother Earth, which we will see as a molten golden crystal that's many miles high and wide, her womb, her consciousness. And see now that from your root, you are sending down your root chakra, you're sending down either a large stem or rope or tree trunk that stretches down through the chair floor, building deep into the soil. And see the roots spreading and feel them pulling up the golden light from the center of the earth, up your root, up through your chakras, feeling them clear and cleanse and activate. You feel that golden light cascading out your crown like a beautiful fountain of water, all the way out into your auric field, 3 feet out in every direction, all the way down around below your feet. Just let that keep circulating. And second, now you're going to ground your room. So just see that there's a beautiful old tree of your choice. It could be a redwood, an oak, a cedar, whatever you like. And just ask Mother Earth to receive the grounding of your room and see that trunk stretching like a rubber band through the building, deep into the soil, the roots spreading, and feel them pulling up that golden light of the earth, up the trunk to the top of the tree, and down and out the branches to fill and embrace your room with that beautiful golden light. And now, with your space safely set, invite now before you Jesus, Yeshua, and Mary Magdalene, Miriam, to come before you. Invite them and feel how happy they are to be here with you, how grounded and solid they are, these great masters who have achieved so much in the way of initiation, who understand the human existence from the Alpha to the Omega. And they are here bringing their great powers to support you now. And whichever one feels more comfortable to you, invite that master to take your hands now, hold your hands, and invite the other master to put one hand on your heart and one hand on the back of your heart. And just feel them now, giving you a healing and a blessing. And if you feel comfortable, the one who's holding your hands, be it Mary Magdalene or Jesus, gaze into their eyes and feel them gazing into your eyes. Just allow yourself this bountiful imagination and connection with this great master who is here to do nothing but love and help you. And feel that transmission of their energy coming through you, all the way down to your sacred womb or your sacred phallus or your womb space, sending it a golden light. So now your heart is activated and your sacred sexual area is activated. And just come to presence in your own heart with something that is on your heart or on your mind in the area of relationships or sexuality that you're wanting assistance with. It could be a problem. It could be a wounding. It could be a longing. And just convey that telepathically to Magdalene and Jesus and feel their unconditional embrace of you and this matter that you're bringing to them. Feel their witnessing and feel them as a double pillar team, bringing healing now to you or energy to you for strengthening in this area. Feeling how they, as a sacred pair, a sacred couple, draw on that power of two to support you with this. Just allowing yourself to receive the light, the codes, the information that may become more apparent in your 3D reality later, but just now receiving whatever you need from them in this regard. Really letting this penetrate into you deeply, feeling their holding, feeling their allyship with you, feeling them now as deep soul friends, deep partners to you in this process of your sexual healing, your relationship healing. Feel that they're dropping in a golden nugget of light that is the promise and the possibility, a seed that you're going to be growing and cultivating as you go forward, allowing you to have greater bliss and well-being in this entire area of your life. And now, thank them for this time together. Feel that they are withdrawing their hands and they're moving off a little bit to the side, but knowing that they're always there. And understanding that you can come back to this again and again in ever new iterations with new questions, new issues, and an expanded dialogue so that you may receive ever more healing and empowerment in this vital area of relationship and sexuality in your life. And now taking a deep breath in and gently closing your eyes. Opening your eyes, sorry, I'm still in the state of it. And I just want to remind you that this is just a little taste of what you can experience in the Sacred Relationship and Sexual Healing with Magdalene and Jesus course. And we do hope you will join us for that. We want you to walk the earth as a symphony of erotic and creative delight. There really is no time to waste. There's no time like the present to go deeper into this healing, this reclamation, this rejuvenation of one of the most important aspects of your earth walk, which is how you relate in loving and sensual ways with yourself and others. And with that, I will say, peace be with you.